Welcome to News Briefs, your news summary. Here are the most relevant news stories. National politics dominates the headlines as the partial shutdown of the federal government enters its sixth week, causing significant disruptions to key services and stirring the economy. In Washington, budget negotiations remain stalled. The main point of contention this week is the funding for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. Millions of Americans who rely on food stamps saw their benefits suspended at the beginning of the month, and the political pressure to find a solution has reached a critical point. President Trump's administration has indicated that it seeks concessions in other budget areas in exchange for approving emergency funds for SNAP. Democratic officials have labeled the measure as hostage-taking. The impact of the shutdown is felt beyond Washington. This Thursday, the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, announced a mandatory 10% reduction in flights at 40 of the country's busiest airports, including Atlanta, Los Angeles, and Chicago. The measure is due to staff shortages, as 80% of air traffic controllers in key centers, such as New York, have not reported to work, citing lack of payment for 6 weeks. In the international arena, tensions between the United States and Venezuela increased in the Caribbean. On Monday, the Pentagon confirmed a special forces operation in international waters that resulted in the interception of a speedboat. According to U.S. officials, the vessel was operated by a narco-terrorist organization. The 3 occupants of the boat died in the confrontation. The Venezuelan government denounced the operation as an act of aggression. The debate over immigration intensified this week after the release of a video showing the violent detention of a Mexican immigrant by ICE agents in Chicago. The family claims they were denied access to the hospital. The incident has sparked protests, with activists demanding that educational and health spaces be considered sacred spaces free of immigration enforcement. In related news, the Department of Homeland Security announced the termination of Temporary Protected Status, or TPS, for South Sudanese nationals. The measure leaves thousands of people on the brink of deportation. Additionally, the Citizenship and Immigration Service, USCIS, announced that it has improved its SAVE program to allow states to more effectively verify that only U.S. citizens vote in federal elections. Second, USCIS reported that it contributed to the investigation that led to the indictment against Jose Ceballos, the mayor of Coldwater, Kansas. Ceballos, a Mexican citizen, faces charges of electoral fraud for allegedly running for and holding a public office. Economically, this tense migration situation seems to have repercussions. The Bank of Mexico reported that remittances from Mexican immigrants to their families fell for the second consecutive month, attributing it to fear and instability. In the financial markets, Wall Street closed with mixed results. Uncertainty about the government shutdown has dampened optimism. The market has now scaled back bets due to an interest rate cut in December. A concerning figure in international trade emerged on Friday. China's exports to the United States plummeted 25% year over year. This data underscores the fragility of the global trade recovery. In health, the dominant news is the impact of the suspension of SNAP, with warnings of an imminent food security crisis. Meanwhile, the Tu Severo Ochoa Week has begun, discussing advances in medicine. In technology, discussions focus on agentic AI agent, systems that take autonomous actions, and spatial computing, computation as spatial, the merging of augmented and virtual reality in work environments. In sports, Los Angeles celebrated the Dodgers' victory parade, who won their second consecutive World Series championship after defeating the Toronto Blue Jays in a thrilling 7th game. In Formula One, at the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, McLaren's Lando Norris dominated today's sprint race on Saturday and extended his lead in the championship. Here's the starting grid for the Brazil GP. First, Lando Norris. McLaren. Second, Kimi Antonelli, Mercedes. Third, Charles Leclerc, Ferrari. And fourth, Oscar Piastri, McLaren. This has been your summary. Until next time.